Hey friends, welcome back. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Endless 90 frames. In my review today, I'm going to be going over the frame, talking about the things that I liked, the things that I didn't like or maybe didn't care for, discussing my final impressions, and then I will be also going over who I think this frame is best for. The Endless frame runs about $200 to $250, depends on what finish you get. It is made from CNC machined extruded aluminum, and what that means is that it basically is made from a solid single piece of aluminum that's cored into the shape. This specific frame either holds four 90 millimeter wheels or it holds three 110 millimeter bullet profile wheels. So it's nice it has the two options between the two. I have them set up on my FR1 Deluxe skates. These, if you ride them in the 4x90 setup, the two middle wheels have a 1 millimeter rocker, which they call a balance rocker. So it just gives you a slight height variation, and that really helps with maneuverability and turning. And then one thing about Endless is that their frames come in a lot of different styles and colors. So you can get, more dull mute finishes such as like silver or black. You can get like, I think they have some that's like more of a camouflage look, and then they have really bright, vibrant colors. So a lot of different options to suit a look that you're going for. So I've ridden these in both the 4x90 and the 3x110 setups. One thing that I really like about these is that they have a single-sided axle for the key. So it basically means you only need to put the Allen key into one side, fasten it, and then it attaches. It basically just threads into the frame itself. I've not had any experience with these frame bolts or hardware loosening up, so it's all really good quality, no stripping of the hardware. And one thing that Endless does that's a little unique too is all the bolts get placed through one side on both frames, so that way when you're rolling they don't have an opportunity to basically unthread in the opposite direction and then loosen up or fall out. Because this is a little bit longer of a frame, I found that these frames were really well balanced and stable, and that is just cruising around, going over cracks, hitting a little jump here or there. It's just very well balanced, stable, and just gives you a very solid ride. In addition to it being a solid ride, it's a very smooth ride. I didn't really have any issues with comfort just going out and cruising. And like I said, I've used these anywhere between 5 and 10 miles, no problem. Because these are made out of one piece aluminum, it means that the frames are very rigid and solid. There's not really any cross bridging in it, and the reason for that is because they have the options between the 90 millimeter or the 110s. But the frames, because they have thick enough sidewalls, you don't feel any flex in them. And I found that the tolerances for the hardware, like sometimes like if you get frames that are machined or cast, you may see like a little bit of play in them, and everything on these, everything just fits up absolutely perfect. One thing that I like too is I just absolutely love the color options. I went for the ocean blue, which just really shimmers in the light. I have very bright, vibrant wheels, which these are also Endless wheels, and it just makes the setup a lot more fun in my opinion, but they do have options, if you want to kind of tone it down as well. I really liked that there was the option to go between a 90 millimeter and the 110, just having that diversity there, because I think, each wheel setup provides a little bit different options on what you want to do. And then, I really liked the balance setup. I found that, it was really snappy and quick on doing turns, and just even like carving on trails, is just a lot of fun, because that just helps with technique and cornering, and it just all worked really well. So what didn't I like about these frames? Honestly, there was absolutely nothing that I didn't like about them. The only things that I'm going to mention here are things that I think are valuable information for others if they're considering purchasing these frames, just to have an understanding of what the learning curve is like with these frames. So for me, I've always skated everything flat. When I skate aggressive, it's been anti-rocker. I've never really done banana rocker or balance rocker like these are. And so for me, it took quite a bit of adjustment just getting the hang of how everything curves, because I felt like I was gonna slide out. But once I got it, like, it just felt so good and so amazing. But there is a little bit of a learning curve there. So, if you get these, just understand that you may have to learn how to use them properly in order to truly take advantage and enjoy them. Same kind of goes with the 110 millimeter wheel spacing. So, when you put in the 110 millimeter wheels, you basically have a wheel here, and then one right in the center on this hole. And this is a lot longer of a wheel spacing than most 110 millimeter frames that come stock on skates. Typically, those frames are a lot shorter. The wheels are more centered with these are centered, but they are all kind of contained within the length of the skate, and it gives you the opportunity to have a lot more agility and cornering. But because the 110 is a 3-wheel setup, you can't really banana rocker it, so it's completely flat, and you can get this like very train track feeling with it. So what that means is you really have to rely on the edges of those wheels and your weight to kind of push into it and learn how to carve. And once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad, and it's actually pretty easy to do. It's just, one thing to note is that because even doing that, it makes for tight cornering extremely difficult. So you have to either like slow down so you can take a corner a little tighter, or give yourself plenty of room if you're going to take a corner. Just something to be aware of. For me, a little bit of a learning curve, but once I got it, it was fine. Kind of the other thing that I could see being an issue for others is because this is a one solid piece of aluminum, there's not really any bridging in it. It kind of has this like tin humming noise. Like if you're going over a rough surface, you can kind of hear like a little bit of vibration or reverberation within the frame. And honestly, for me, I love that sound. Like, it sounds really cool and like sciencey, and like, I don't know, just what you imagine the future tech is like. But if you're wanting something that's like completely dead quiet, then just know that these do have a little bit of a noise to it, but for me it's not bothering. And you can hear some of that noise in some of the clips that I took just making this review video. So what are my final thoughts on this frame? I think it's an amazing frame. It is well thought out, well engineered. It has really good quality control from manufacturing, so it has really good tolerances. And for me, I found that this frame brought a lot of fun just to getting out and doing my distance trail skating, and throwing in some jumps here or there. And for me, this has been well worth the money over the last year, and it has plenty of life left, so I'll continue to skate them. So who is this frame best for? Honestly, this is best for someone who is looking to upgrade over a stock frame. If you've outgrown 80mm wheels, you're looking for, something that can take bigger wheels so you can go longer, faster. You want some more agility, maneuverability, whether that's for recreation, distance skating, urban skating, or trail skating. This is the perfect frame for you. This also gives you the color options to customize your skate any way that you want to. And then this is also for someone who is looking to, advance their skills in skating. I'd say probably the only person this frame would not be good for is somebody who isn't ready to go faster, isn't ready for that additional maneuverability, and somebody who is looking for these frames for wizard skating. There's a whole bunch of other frames out there for wizard skating. It's not what I do, but this frame is not geared to that, so I'm not going to recommend it for that. But there are some things you can do with these frames that cross over with wizard skating, like if you're looking at doing wheelies or just some different maneuverability things. But there are better frames out there that are geared to doing that. I think that's about all I have to say about these frames. Absolutely love them. If you've ridden these, drop me a line. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions on them, drop me a line. Let me know what your question is. I'll do my best to answer it. And I think that wraps up this video. So thank you all for checking in, and we'll catch you next time.